Yeah, good evening, Rahul. That was a fantastic discussion, but I have to start by saying that the government control of Hindu temples is the modern day pillaging and loot. And you could earlier blame Khilji for it or invaders for it. But today, I'm afraid the invaders and those who are pillaging and looting the Hindu temples are actually Hindu. Now, let me put forth 3 or 4 points. But before that, I must congratulate Sai Deepak for a complete demolition. And I'm sure Mr. Hegde won't mind because he was really ill prepared. All his points have been sufficiently answered, more than that, in fact. But let me add to that a couple of more points. You know, when Mr. Hegde rightfully, proudly says, like all of us should do, that we are a secular state. What business does a secular state, a secular government have meddling in religion or the other way around? Now, when he says that the state is removing the discrimination that is present in Hinduism through its control, would he also like the state to say that in Christianity, in Catholic, you should have women as priests? But that doesn't happen, does it? Would he also like to say that why was it that the Kerala High Court threw out a petition that said women should be allowed in the sanctum sanctorum of all mosques? Those petitions are thrown out. You can't have double standards. And in the case of Sabrimala, as J. Sai Deepak has already illustrated beautifully, it was not discrimination, it was perceived discrimination. There are temples where Hindu men are not allowed. This was a different case altogether, and this is just one Sabrimala temple. But more than, above and beyond that, I mean, we are having a wonderful discussion. This is not some, I don't have any anger towards anyone. It's a wonderful discussion, and I'm enjoying it because we have two lawyers here. Rahul, you and I are outsiders who are enjoying this, but I have to say this, that, you know, for 50 years, since 1959, when the Congress government overturned the Supreme Court judgment, and brought in the endowment, first of all, as Sai Deepak rightly put it. Yes, the government wants to control all religions, but look at the extent of it. The Endowments Act is absolutely not comparable to SGPC Act, as Sai Deepak has already said. I mean, is the Jama Masjid controlled by the government? No, it's not. There are 100,000 Hindu temples that are directly controlled. If you look at Somnath, for example, Rahul, you know, Somnath Board of Trustees, 4 are appointed by the state government, 4 are appointed by the central government. The Hindus have no say at all. Right now, Prime Minister is the executive, the Board of Trustees. Then you have Mr. Amit Shah, Mr. L.K. Advani. They're all politicians. They've all got in through government appointments. Where are the Hindus? They are the people who are running these temples. The Tirupati is one of the richest temples in the world. And, you know, when Mr. Hegde rightfully, in his right mind, said that the government's job is to take care of the temple, to preserve it. You know, last year, exactly 1 year has gone by when the Tamil Nadu government told the Madras High Court, I'm quoting the Tamil Nadu government, 11,000 Hindu temples in Tamil Nadu do not have enough money to perform even one puja. Yes. That's it. Do you know if Tirupati was let loose by the government control, it has the money that is equivalent to the GDP of a small country. Tirupati alone can give money to at least these 11,000 temples so they can actually at least run. The priests can be given money. So there is discrimination. Nobody is doubting it. But again, I come back to this. When the Congress could overturn a 1959 Supreme Court judgment and for 40 years it controlled the temple, okay, you can blame the Congress. But for the last 7 years, you don't have the Congress, do we? We have BJP, supposedly Hindutva vanguard, Hindu government. What is it doing? If it can overturn the SC Act, the judgment by the Supreme Court, why can it not overturn a Congress overturn of a Supreme Court judgment? That would be helping the Supreme Court, isn't it? That won't be like the Congress that overturned the Shah Bano judgment of Supreme Court. This would be helping the Supreme Court. But no, BJP is controlling even more temples. We had the Uttarakhand example. We have Karnataka. We have Maharashtra. So this is a collective. This is a politician collective, Rahul. They've all decided that this is the holy cow, quote unquote. Hindus are gullible. Let us loot this. And with that money, let us now, on the other hand, put the Hindus on a guilt trip. You know, every time people talk about Hajj subsidy, which incidentally a Supreme Court judgment says should be stopped, the Muslims all immediately say, what about Kumbh Mela? Arey bhai, you are looting billions from Hindu temples. Kumbh Mela, the population is 200 million people who attend Kumbh Mela. You don't even want the security state to provide the security for Kumbh Mela. So, there is prejudice and it has to go. This is not justice.
Well,
and I'm an atheist who's saying this.
I'll say one thing, Dr. Ranganathan, it's not that Hindus are gullible. We're just not united. That's the problem. We can't articulate for ourselves our rights in a cohesive voice. And that's unfortunately also the project or any attempt to try and unite Hindus across board. That project is also resisted in this country, tooth and nail, by the way, viewers. There are many ways that project is being opposed. Even